Here's exactly how I made $73,060 selling digital products in the last 2 months, step by step, so you can copy exactly what I've done. If you've ever wanted to create passive income, but you felt overwhelmed by how to start, this video will break it all down for you. I'll share with you the exact strategies, platforms, and marketing techniques I use so you can start making real money online without the guesswork. So let's dive in. Okay, so my main product right now and the main product that I've sold for the last 2 months is my membership called Freedom Creator Club. Now, Freedom Creator Club at the time I'm recording this video costs $59 a month or $348 per year, or a one-time $599 payment for the unlimited tier. And we also have a $19 order bump and a $67 upsell. So now that you know what it is I'm selling and what the different options are to purchase, I want to share with you how I've actually gone about selling my Freedom Creator Club membership over the last 2 months. Well, in January of this year, we decided to do what's called a launch. And so far for the last couple of years, we have done a launch for Freedom Creator Club every single January. Now, the word launch, in my opinion, would mean to launch a product for sale for the very first time. However, in the internet marketing industry, big promotion is what people like to refer to as a launch. So just keep in mind, this doesn't need to be the first time you're promoting something to call it a launch in internet marketing speak, okay? That's just a term that people like to use when they're talking about running a promotion. So in January of this year, we did a launch. I'm pretty sure I made an entire video on this channel about the breakdown, but basically I believe it was 5 days long and we sent out emails to our email list. We had around 30,000 email subscribers at the time. But the biggest way that we sold our membership during this launch is I actually hosted 2 live webinars. Now, a webinar is kind of like a cross between a workshop and a sales presentation. So essentially the beginning of the webinar is a workshop filled with a lot of helpful information, stories, student testimonials. And then towards the end of the webinar is when you would get into your pitch and share about how people can pay to learn from you further if they would like to. Of course, this is optional. So we actually had thousands of people sign up to attend my live webinars. Now, not everyone showed. I think it was around 30% of those who registered actually showed up and came to the live webinars. And of the people who showed up, we had somewhere around 15% and 17% purchase on the actual webinar. So in January, we actually hit just over $50,000 in revenue. And most of it did come from this launch, but we did also have our passive funnel running before the launch started, which I'll talk to you about next, because that is exactly what we did in the next month to earn the remainder of the $73,060. And if you actually want to attend my exact webinar presentation that I just talked about, it's part workshop and part promotion for those who are looking to work with me further and learn more. But basically what this workshop covers is it covers how to find your niche, what product you should sell, how to actually grow a following of potential buyers. It also talks about how you can get your hands on my tools, templates, scripts, and more. So you can go ahead and register for your free on-demand seat. This is actually a replay of that exact webinar that I just talked about by clicking on the first link in the description below this video or the link in the pinned comment below. Now for February, we made just over $40,000. Now I know you're thinking, well, 50,000 plus 40,000, that's 90,000, but you said 73,000. Yes, that's because the 73,000 is all within a software that we use called System. And so I'm able to screenshot that to show you guys proof for this video, but we actually make a lot of sales that are also outside of System and are not tracked within that one singular screenshot. And to be honest, I don't feel like going and finding all these different screenshots and putting them all into one screenshot. So if you want to believe that we just made 73,000, that's fine. I've showed you the proof, but if you want to believe me, we actually made more than that, and that's cool too. So in February, what we did after this launch is we actually took the best of the 2 live webinars and we automated one of them. So we looked at the 2 live webinars, we said, hey, this one performed better, let's automate it. So in order to do that, we actually use a software called Webinar Jam. So what Webinar Jam does is it allows you to host live webinars, and then with one click, you can turn them into what's called an evergreen webinar or an automated webinar or a passive webinar. There's a lot of different names for it, but Webinar Jam calls it Evergreen or Ever Webinar. So again, what we did was we took the top performing webinar, we clicked it to be an evergreen webinar. And now when people register, they have options if they want to watch the replay right away on demand, or if they want to sign up to watch that same replay like the next day at noon or the next day at 2 p.m. or whenever works best for them. Now, the cool thing about Webinar Jam is not only does it take your live webinar and automate it, but it also automates the comments as well. So the real comments that were left on your live webinar, when you go to evergreen it, they will also recreate those exact comments and when they were left on the replay or ever webinar, whatever you want to call it as well. Now, this is super cool because if you weren't able to attend live, you're still going to be able to get that live experience. You're still going to be able to watch the actual training and also interact in the comment section and also see the exact live comments that were left during that live presentation as well. So what we did in February is we focused all of our efforts from our traffic to point people to this automated webinar. So in all of my videos, I'm mentioning my freebies. So when someone signs up for my freebie, they put in their name and email and they get sent the freebie automatically. They also get put onto my email list. But also after they put in their name and email, they're going to go to a page called a thank you page. And we have turned our thank you page into a sign up form for this training. So they put in their name and email, they get one of our freebies, and it's like, hey, before you go, don't forget to check out this free on-demand training. And it's my webinar. We call it a lot of different things. We call it a workshop, a free on-demand training, a webinar. It's all the same thing. There's just a lot of different things that you can call it, right? So we're taking my YouTube viewers, we're getting them on my email list, and we're also saying, hey, sign up for this workshop. And then around 5 to 7% of those people who sign up for the workshop end up purchasing Freedom Creator Club. So in January, most of our sales came from the live webinars. And in February, most of our sales came from the automated webinar. And the cool thing is that in January, we made around 50K. And in February, we made around 40K, which is a $10,000 difference. But the cool part about February is I didn't do anything live. Everything was totally automated, totally passive, which just goes to show you that if you put in that work up front to build that passive business, you can have systems set up to make you passive sales consistently again and again for years to come. Okay, so what helped our launch in January to go so well? And thinking back, I would say the number one thing was all of the focus and efforts that we put into just simply getting people signed up to attend the live webinars. So all of my YouTube videos, all of our community posts, our emails, everything 2 weeks leading up to that webinar was like, sign up for the webinar, sign up for the webinar, sign up for the webinar, sign up for the webinar. Like every single place that we had traffic, we were just sending people to sign up for the webinar. Like I said, we got thousands of people to sign up for these webinars, which is so freaking cool. And not only with this launch, but every single launch I've ever done, the majority by far of the sales come from these live webinars. And also I was so motivated to do these because I knew that if I crushed these live, we'd be able to one tap turn these automated and make sales for years to come. In fact, last January, I did a launch and we took that webinar and we automated it and it made us sales all year long, which is pretty dang cool. Okay, so what do I think helped our February passive sales do so well? Well, it's kind of like the same thing as January, except for sending people to the live webinar. I was just focused on sending people to the automated webinar. So all of my videos were like, get a freebie, which leads them to the webinar, or it tells them to sign up to the webinar directly. We also have a 9-month automated email sequence, which bounces between nurturing and giving value, and then also inviting people to watch this on-demand training. So as you can see, both months, one was live and one was automated, but the strategies are really the same. Get traffic, which for me is from YouTube, and then send that traffic to the training and let the training do the selling. Now, another thing that really helped with both of these months is number one, we have already been growing our email list for a number of years. But number two, my YouTube videos were doing really, really well in January and February, and they still are, which is awesome. Now, the reason I think they were doing so well is because I do something with my content called content pillars. So this is where I try different content. Like maybe I'll have a pillar about side hustles, or a pillar about women over 40, how to make money online, or a pillar about YouTube, which I just named 3 of my actual pillars. Well, the cool thing is I've actually tried a lot more pillars than that. I've been testing pillars over and over throughout the years. And what I do is when one works, I make more videos in that category. And when one doesn't work, I get rid of that pillar and I test another one. And I feel like my channel has finally been around long enough that all of the pillars that I have are currently working. Because really at first with your channel, you start out, probably none of your pillars are working, right? Then maybe you get 1 pillar working. Then maybe you get 2, then 3, then 4. Then next thing you know, all of your pillars work. Your videos are consistent. You're having a video go viral every so many videos and your channel really takes off. And that is where my channel is at right now, which was so helpful to get those thousands of people signed up, to grow our email list, because we know that when we have something working that converts and makes sales, in order to get more sales, it really just comes down to more traffic. And if you're wanting to start or grow your own YouTube channel, just know that I have an entire playlist on my channel dedicated to how to start and grow your own YouTube channel. And again, if you want to attend my free on-demand training that I've been talking about throughout this entire video, if you want to see how I share value, what value I share, also how do I actually promote my program at the end, how can you get your hands on my different tools, scripts, and templates, go ahead and click the first link in the description below this video to watch this free on-demand training. We also sometimes pin it in the first comment as well. Now that you know how I've made over $73,060 in the last 2 months, how I made it, and what has worked best for me, you might be wondering how much money I made all of last year and how I did it. But how can you learn more about that? Well, it all starts with watching this video next here, because when you pair what you just learned with what's in this video, it's going to be way more powerful. See you in the next video.